Can you believe we actually pulled this off, huh? Pretty awesome. Well, if we could, let's go ahead and start this out right with our national anthem sung by our own Carter Wright. Carter cannot be here today as he is enlisted with the Army National Guard and is currently in basic training in Fort Jackson, Carolina. However, early this summer, we asked Private Carter to record himself singing the national anthem as we felt it was fitting that he be sung by a Romeo graduate who has chosen to serve our country. If everyone could please stand, and gentlemen, please remove your hats.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare now bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was a perfect gust of wind, too. That was great. Well, thank you, Carter. I know that you're not here tonight, but I hope you're able to be joining us remotely from wherever you are. Well, good evening again. My name is Bernie Oswald, and I am truly blessed to be the principal here at Romeo High School and also a member of this community. I'm thankful that you are all here today and happy that we're able to make this event happen and share this experience together. So thank you for being here both remotely and in person to recognize and honor the graduating class of 2020. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Todd Robinson.
Good evening and welcome to the Romeo High School Class of 2020 Commencement Ceremony, Part 1. Thank you all for joining us for this extremely important event that I would argue is the most important ceremony we hold annually as a school system. Thank you also to everyone who is joining us via live stream. I continue to both be honored and humbled to serve as your superintendent. The past 4 months have certainly been the most unusual and unpredictable time in our lives. Today isn't supposed to be about the COVID-19 pandemic and all that has brought to our world. However, I would be remiss if I didn't take a minute to reflect on our current reality that has us holding 4 separate commencement ceremonies here at Barnabo 6 weeks later than when the traditional ceremony would have been held. Let me take a minute to say we are sorry to all of those family members and loved ones who weren't able to be here in person today to celebrate their favorite graduate. I trust that all of you have or will celebrate with your graduate as your family desires. That's going to be a problem, Mr. Oswald. We need a round of applause for that swift action. The power of MIT TV and WBRW can edit that out, I'm sure. Mr. Oswald and his staff have gone to great lengths to make today a reality, and I appreciate all their efforts to celebrate our graduates. As Mr. Oswald will mention, we have some incredible community partners who have joined forces to make today special for all involved, and with their support, these ceremonies are available on live stream now and will be available on demand in the future. Please grant us some grace, as pulling off this event is a tremendous challenge and the coordination is truly unique and something we have never done. We began this pandemic and continue to battle through it each day. Our human nature steers us towards emotions like worry, frustration, doubt, anger, and fear. I appreciate the patience so many of you have displayed and the uncertainty and timing of all the decisions we have had in regard to the special events and activities that occur at the end of a senior year. The emotionally laden emails, voicemails, social media posts, and phone calls are understood as they all come at some point from love. The love that you have for your child, your senior, your graduate. We can stay stuck in these emotions that come from a negative mindset or make the conscious decision to rise above and to make the most of such unfair circumstances, and quite honestly, maybe choose to think more about others than ourselves. I have seen firsthand how incredibly caring and supportive this community is, not only for our seniors, but for those in need, our first responders, and our essential workers. I'm encouraged by so many wonderful people who give their time, treasure, and talents to ensure our community is cared for, and that we can navigate and rebound from this unprecedented time. I have with me today a face shield that I think is a good example of what I'm talking about at this time. This is just like the thousands our staff and students Fighting Bulldogs have collaborated on and made to meet the needs of first responders, healthcare workers, and others as a result of the pandemic. So many adults and students have chosen a positive approach to these trying times, both within their own families and within our community. This has been by providing hope, encouragement, support, and love. This has come in many ways, like food, financial support, yard signs, street banners, personal protective equipment, and acts of service, just to name a few. You see, these are lifelong lessons that I know our young people are learning from in the absence of missing some traditional classroom instruction last spring. But as we navigate this current reality, there is still great uncertainty as to when we will be on the backside of this pandemic. I trust that our district and community, we can handle all that the future brings if we stay focused on sticking together and relying on the foundation of community and family that makes Romeo such a special place. Okay, the reason we are all here today is about you, graduates, the class of 2020. Congratulations. Today is the culmination of a journey that you young adults have been on for the past 13 years. For some of you, that journey has played out exclusively in Romeo Community Schools. For others, it has taken you through other educational settings along the way. Regardless of where you have been along the way, what is the same is that you are completing this journey together as the class of 2020 from Romeo High School that is a special community. With this comes a bond that will follow you for the rest of your lives. It is the hope of all of us that this journey has prepared you for the next chapter in your life. It is said that as one door closes, another is sure to open. The next door is taking some of you away to begin college at one of our state or other colleges and universities. Others of you have chosen to stay home and attend community college. Some of you have enlisted in the armed forces to serve our country, and some of you have plans to enter directly into the workforce. It is only fair to assume that some of you aren't quite sure what the next step might be yet. What is for sure is that you all have been waiting for this milestone event to happen, to officially represent your graduation from high school. It has been an extremely strange and trying journey to get us to this day, but we all share in the desire to celebrate your graduation. Personally, I want to thank you for being our first graduating class from the new Romeo High School. You were an awesome group of seniors to open this new school and lead the student body. As your superintendent, it has been incredible to see the accomplishments you have achieved in the classroom. Countless academic honors, achievements in both visual and performing arts, on the playing field with several team and individual honors in athletics. You have excelled in career and technical education competitions, whether it be health occupations, engineering, machining, video production, or design. What I've enjoyed most is seeing the uncommon level of kindness you have shown in being the seniors and leaders in our school. Your support of each other in our community is quite honestly at a level I have not seen in other school communities. You have done a great job of blending the responsibility and accountability of school with being supportive, friendly, having fun, and enjoying a good laugh. Thank you also for having some fun every now and then with your superintendent. You make me seem far more relevant in the world of social media than I quite honestly really am. Your teachers, administrators, and support staff truly like you. They care about your success. They speak highly of you. They are excited about your futures, but please know that they will also miss you. I encourage you to please continue to look out for each other, to take care of each other, enjoy, celebrate, and have fun, but please be safe. Romeo is and will always be your home. Go out and explore, learn and grow, but know that we are here for you, and you will always be welcomed home. Congratulations. To everyone here and on the stream, please be safe. Remain encouraged. Continue to trust that better days are sure to come. Our family is strong. Stay well, be healthy, and go Bulldogs. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Robinson. Before moving forward, there are some thank yous that I would like to share. First off, thank you to our teachers, our secretaries, staff members, administrators, and our Board of Education for their ongoing support and always putting the needs of our students first. It's been quite a year, and we could not have gotten through everything without all of them. Thank you to our senior class sponsor, Mrs. Roxanne Anderson, for all the work she has done to get us here today. Thank you to Mr. Bojo, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Hinkle, Mr. Smith, and our principals for their contributions to today's ceremony. Also, thank you to Mrs. LaGrasso and Ms. Betcher for your work to plan and facilitate today's event. And most importantly, thank you to our parents, our friends, and our families for joining us here today to congratulate our graduates and share in and celebrate their accomplishments. It is your continued love and support that has helped our students reach this milestone in their lives. I also feel, considering the circumstances, it's important to share a special thank you to both BIT TV and WBRW for their support in this unique ceremony and for streaming our ceremonies live so those at home can watch from there. So, it is now time for our commencement speakers. First, the president of the class of 2020, Bree LePage. Please direct your attention to the scoreboard monitor.
Hello, Romeo, class of 20. Hello, Romeo, class of 2020. I would like to first congratulate everyone on making it to this point. We have been waiting forever for this moment, to walk across the stage and finally say we did it. Despite all of the challenges and hardships we have faced over the last 12 years, here we are. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Thank you to all of the students, teachers, and administration for being part of my high school experience. I couldn't be more grateful to have had the opportunity to spend the past 4 years with all of you. I cannot wait to see what our futures have to hold. For now, as we walk across the stage, we are leaving behind our school, friends, teachers, and for many of us, the entire community of Romeo itself. And wow, it's a bittersweet goodbye. We are blessed to have had such a strong, supportive, and overall amazing community to call our home and stand by us in the difficult times we have encountered, such as our senior year being cut short due to a global pandemic. Although our senior year has proven to be quite different than we had expected, it is definitely still one to remember. We had the opportunity to make some awesome memories at the events that did happen this year, and most of us have learned valuable lessons about not taking the little things for granted. No class wants to have their senior year torn to pieces, but unfortunately, it happened. We faced it, we handled it, and we are stronger for getting through it. However, we still have some disappointments. My heart goes out to those whose senior seasons were taken away, those who had worked hard for grades that didn't end up counting, those who had their prom dresses picked out only for a cancellation, and to our class in its entirety, who didn't get to experience some of the high school events that we have been looking forward to for years. All of this really stinks, but keep your heads up and know that there are better things coming. As we walk away from everything we have learned to know and love over the past 4 years, we are feeling a couple of different things. Personally, I'm excited, happy, and a little bit terrified of starting over again. Although moving on can be a little bit sad and scary, there is so much to be excited about as we grow and move forward with our lives. We get to forget who or what we were seen as in high school and find and reinvent ourselves again. As young adults, we are at the prime age for exploration, creativity, and growth. And I know that we, as individuals and as a class, are going to do amazing things. As best said by Mother Teresa, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. So to the Romeo High School class of 2020, let us begin the next chapter of our lives.
Well, thank you, Bree. Next, I'm pleased to introduce our 2020 salutatorian, Isabella Prescott.
Since this is our graduation, not just mine, I wanted to take some time to reflect
Since this is our graduation, not just mine, I wanted to take some time to reflect on experiences from people in our grade and some of our favorite teachers in Romeo. If you've had Mr. Leitzel, you know that he reads life lessons to us every class. So as a shout out to him, I'm going to share a few things that we've learned throughout the past 4 years. I have learned that some teachers won't grade your project until they sell their house. I have learned that in high school, there are no deadlines, even after grades are due, if the teacher likes you enough. I have learned not to drink the fermented root beer in AP Bio. I have learned that you're a fool if you don't know the chain rule. Shout out to Mr. Super. I have learned that you can get caught for pirating. I really learned how to manipulate. I have learned that your freshman GPA actually matters. I have learned that rounding to the correct number of sig figs is more important than the actual chemistry lab. I have learned not to start a Mountain Dew selling business after paying people for their lockers for extra storage. I have learned that taking online AP classes is as bad as it sounds. I have learned that you can't domesticate a zebra. And finally, I have learned how to do 8 hours of work in 30 minutes and 30 minutes of work in 8 hours.
The last 4 years have been amazing, horrible, and everything in between. I'll never forget blasting Russian rap as I pulled up to the senior success lot, getting the worst pair of safety glasses in honors chemistry, failing almost every AP Gov test while still somehow getting a 5 on the exam, or playing with communist dictator cards before 4th hour started during freshman year. I want to say thank you to Mr. Lamb for being there for me sophomore year when I went through a lot of mental health issues, and a thank you to Frau Page for letting me rant to her during my online classes every day this year. Thank you to Mr. Leitzel for taking over our calculus class at the last minute and still doing an amazing job preparing us for the exam. Huge shout out to Mr. Savage for leading our robotics team. And another thank you to Mr. Anderson, the math and computer science one, for giving personalized TED Talks sophomore and senior year and being one of my favorite people in general. And finally, thank you to all of our teachers and staff for making these last 4 years extremely memorable for us all.
Standing right here. That's awesome. Thank you, Isabella. Now our valedictorian for the class of 2020, Ariana Scott.
My fellow graduates, while today we are stuck in a dark place of uncertainty, all we can do is look forward to the future. As we are handed our diploma, we are given a chance to start fresh, to become the people we have always dreamed of. For those who haven't truly felt themselves throughout high school, who have fallen into groups that do not define them, this is your time to break away from that image. Leaving Romeo, a community where we have all been given amazing opportunities, we are forced to step out of our comfort zones and discover who we are. Throughout high school, labels were given to us. Based on preconceived notions, everyone was given a role to play, portraying a characterized version of themselves. Once we are off into the real world, we get to create our own identity. Those who are believed to go nowhere in life may be the ones who leave the largest mark on the world. From this point forward, the possibilities are endless. It is your job to prove the stereotypes wrong, to show that no matter what your past was, your future is what you make of it. We are in control of our destiny and are the only ones who have the power to write the ending of our stories. As we exit this stage, we are given the responsibility of our future. This is a responsibility that we should not take lightly. Once off in the real world, we will not have teachers who care about us as much as Romeo's faculty. We will be missing that hand to hold when times are scary and unknown. What we will not be lacking, however, is the ability to persevere. A famous quote by former President Obama reads, "The future rewards those who press on." I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. In light of the current situation, the class of 2020 must adhere to this statement. It is easy to mull in sorrow and make excuses, but if we do that, our future would suffer as a result. Complaining about the present, being focused on the past, none of it solves the issue. If we want to make a change in our lives, we must continue to press on. What does pressing on mean in our case? We must work on ourselves as if life is normal. We must continue to pursue our goals and dreams with minor alterations. We must aid those who need a helping hand. To all of my classmates, Romeo High School's class of 2020, press on. Your future begins now.
Well, thank you, Ariana, and thank you to all of our commencement speakers. They did well, and they got to avoid public speaking, so that was cool. It's now time to recognize our honor and award distinctions this year. As you know, this year we have 4 graduation ceremonies, so that not everyone is able to be here all at once. Nonetheless, we'll recognize and honor them all. Graduates, as you are called, if you could please stand and remain standing until all honors awards and distinctions are complete. To begin, I would like to acknowledge our class of 2020 valedictorian, Ariana Scott, and our class of 2020 salutatorian, Isabella Prescott. Both Ariana and Isabella will be attending their graduation ceremonies tomorrow. However, we are proud of them both for their accomplishments and feel they deserve special recognition. I would now like to recognize our students who have received the distinction of honored graduate. These students have received and are wearing their honors stole and honors graduate medallion. Would all students with a grade point average of 4.0 and above please stand? There we go. We would now like to recognize the students who have earned a grade point average of 3.9 and above. These students have received an honor stole to signify this honor. Would all students with a grade point average of 3.9 and above please stand? The students standing have achieved the honor of highest honors for the class of 2020. We would now like to recognize the 106 students graduating with high honors. These students have maintained a grade point average of 3.5 or above and have received the red and white honors cords to signify this honor. Would our high honor graduates please stand? And finally, we would like to honor the 89 students who are graduating with honors. These students have maintained a grade point average of 3.0 and above and have received the gold honors cords to signify this honor. Would our honors graduates please stand? Congratulations to you all. Quite an accomplishment and a testament to all the hard work and dedication you've put in the last 4 years. You please be seated. So last year we started a tradition that I'm honored to continue this year. One of my favorite sayings is that America is the land of the free because of the brave. May I please ask that any veterans and those in active military service with us today please stand so we may acknowledge and thank you for your service to our great country. I would now like to present to you the 5 Romeo High School graduates who will be joining you in serving our great country. Many of our enlisted graduates are unable to attend their graduation ceremonies this year as they have already begun their service to our country. Hopefully, they are watching and able to join us remotely. However, if any of you are here today, please stand when your name is called. Trey Brissett, United States Army. Kellen Bryant, United States Army. Jacob Gadoshin, United States Air Force. Nathan Kavanaugh, United States Marine Corps. And Carter Wright, United States Army. Thank you all for your service to our country, and may God bless America. Thank you. Well, it's been a year. I can honestly say that we're never going to forget the class of 2020. But I'm sure you guys rather have prom back than be remembered as the class with the masks and all that, right? So, I mean, it comes with it. So for a principal, a graduation speech is that final opportunity to, impart some knowledge, to teach to a group of students. And with everything going on right now, there's so much I'd love to say to you guys. But I can't, or I shouldn't. It's okay. But instead, what I wanted to do is share something with you that I've been thinking about a lot about lately. And to be honest, it really has brought me some peace in the trying times we're going through. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about what I've learned from my grandparents, the wisdom they have passed down to the next generation. My grandparents were members of the greatest generation. At least that's what Tom Brokaw calls them. Men and women, no different than your grandparents and great-grandparents, who have lived through some truly incredible change in difficult times. They entered a world of chamber pots, horse and carriage, and no electricity, and they left a world with self-flushing toilets, space travel, and the internet. They saw the first airplanes, women get the right to vote, the Civil Rights Act, and humans landing on the moon. They survived the Great Depression and 2 world wars. They are called the greatest generation because, for the most part, they didn't do things for fortune or fame. They did what had to be done because it was the right thing to do. Life wasn't about keeping up with the Joneses or Kardashians and all, right? Life was about working hard, taking care of others, preparing the next generation, and leaving the world better than they found it. It's windy. So likely because of this ever-changing world they lived in and the difficult times they endured, they had a wisdom about them. A wisdom that only comes from living in this world a long time, experiencing all that life has to offer, and believing in something greater than yourself. This wisdom is what has brought me some peace the last few weeks. Fundamental truths that apply to any situation. Life is and will always be full of ups and downs, good times and bad, triumph and adversity, and abundance and scarcity. What we're going through is nothing new, and as my grandma would say, It too shall pass, darling. Here's the wisdom I remember most from my grandparents, truths that apply to any situation, in any place, and in any time. First, be kind to others. You never know what someone else is going through. Do what is right and for the right reasons, and you will never be wrong. Character is what you do when no one else is looking. Have a good one. It defines who you are and how people see you. Be honest. Lies always catch up to you in the end, and it's never worth it. Healthy skepticism is a good thing. Challenge the status quo. Educate yourself. Don't necessarily believe things just because you've been told this, and that's especially true nowadays with the internet and social media. Just don't become a cynic. Honor your parents and your grandparents. They have sacrificed a lot to give you the great life that you have. And I've seen your cars. You guys got it pretty good. Okay. Of course, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Can you imagine a world where everyone, or even most people, applied this wisdom? A world where people treated others with compassion and understanding and loved others as they loved themselves. Everything that is going on in the world right now is happening to you. Your generation didn't cause this. It's not your fault. You don't have any control over it. But that won't be the case forever. History has shown us that this will pass, times will get better, but there will be challenges in the future. And at that time, you all, your generation, will be the ones in control. So how are you going to handle it? Because we're going to need you guys then. So while living through difficult times right now isn't pleasant, it is a unique opportunity to learn and grow. So my challenge or my request to you all is to just be observant right now. Pay attention to what's going on. Look at how people are reacting and notice how things turn out. Learn from this. Because the next time, you'll be in control and we'll all be looking to you for leadership. So every generation begins with hope and optimism. And as I look out at this graduating class, I see the talent, the promise, and the potential of you all. I am optimistic for the future. Perhaps you all, your generation, will be the next great generation. You guys sure have been through a lot in your 18 years already. All I ask is to just leave the world a better place than you found it. And let's be honest, that really shouldn't be too hard to do. So it truly has been a pleasure knowing you all. I really look forward to looking where your future takes you. Thank you. A word from the president of the Romeo Community Schools Board of Education, Mrs. Jill Riley. If you would, please direct your attention to the scoreboard monitor.
Hello, everyone. It is my distinct honor to represent the Romeo Community Schools Board of Education as we celebrate the Romeo High School class of 2020. Congratulations to our graduates and to your families on the hard work and perseverance that has brought you to this day. To our teachers, staff, administrators, and fellow board members, thank you for your dedication to our students, and also for your efforts to create a memorable graduation ceremony to mark this important milestone. Thank you to Dr. Robinson for being the compass, keeping us all on the right path, even as that path keeps shifting. This is my first year having the honor of speaking as board president, but this is not my first time addressing a Romeo graduating class. A few decades ago, I stood at the podium on Barnabo Field and spoke to my graduating class about the present. I don't remember the details, but in reflecting upon this kind of full circle moment, I'd like to share with you three ideas that have been beneficial to me since I last addressed a Romeo graduating class. First, be open to opportunity. Setting goals and having a plan to achieve them is important. Planning is important. However, as you, class of 2020, have learned perhaps more than any other class in recent history, things don't always go according to plan. When this happens, when your plans go awry, you can let it get you down, you can quit, or you can be open to the opportunity that such surprises may bring. Some of the greatest opportunities in my life have come not because I planned them, but because I was open to accepting them as they arose. Second, always keep learning. Graduation is a major accomplishment, the capstone to your foundational K-12 education, but it is by no means the end. No matter what the next step is on your journey, university, community college, entering the workforce, joining the military, your education is just beginning. Excellence in your field of choice will require education and training. Likewise, Having the education and skills to be a careful and analytical consumer of information is vital to being a responsible citizen. Romeo is a wonderful community, and your families and teachers have prepared you well, but the world is a big, big place, and we all have a lot to learn. Third, lead when you can. Leadership matters, and the world needs you, class of 2020. It needs your skills, your voice, and your heart. Every one of you can make a difference. These last few months have shown us how the world can be brought to its knees by a microscopic particle, a virus. And we've come to know just how important strong, effective leadership is. This time has also shown us how forward-thinking leaders can bring communities together to support one another with empathy, to speak to injustice and inequality, be better together, and make change where change is needed. Your generation's characteristic ingenuity, resilience, and optimism, and compassion for the most vulnerable make you the leaders we need. We are counting on you. In closing, my hope for all of you is that you embrace opportunity, that you continue to learn, and that you use that education and your experience to step up and lead whenever you can. On behalf of the Romeo Board of Education, I congratulate you all on your accomplishments and wish you great success and fulfillment in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Riley. So now this is what you guys are here for, the presentation of our diplomas. This year we're going to be acknowledging all graduates scheduled to be here at this ceremony, whether they are here in person or joining us at home. Graduates will be announced in alphabetical order and their names and pictures will be displayed on the scoreboard. Students that are here in person today will walk across the stage and be handed their diplomas. They will then walk past our Board of Education and down over there to take a picture. Families, you will receive these pictures in the mail in the next few weeks. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Jeff Hinkle, who is up in the press box and will be assisting us with the presentation of today's diplomas.
Lily Claire Ackerman. Logan John Allen. Corey James Allison. Ava M. Antonelli. Raina May Asuncion. Grayson Autry. Mitchell Dennis Avers. Caden Baker. Adriana Barajas. Brooke A. Barkey. Benjamin Foster Barnard. Michael Jeffrey Baroli. Ella Eileen Bartlett. Miabella Ann Beard. Lillianne Grace Bering. Adam Lewis Bellinger. Brooke Marie Bennett. Scott Lee Bentley II. Ardiana Barashai. Allison Page Barrios. Annalise Elizabeth Biloski. Quinn Patrick Beanick. Tyler Thomas Beanick. Ryan Adam Bilski. Hunter C. Birchfield. Cade Ingham Bittner. Jacob Blanchard. Ella Mary Block. Jackson Werner Block. Isabella Grace Bolda. Abigail Grace Boley. Juliana Bolini. Patrick Murphy Bohm. Haley L. Bouthele. Brianna Catherine Bowman. Donald Breakveld. Veronica Breakveld. Isabella May Brass.
Bella!
Trey Anthony Brissett. Michael Aaron Brodzinski. Elliot Brown. Kellen L. Bryant. Grace Eleanor Bukhari. Mason Paul Book. Joshua Brandon Cagle. Matthew Robert Calley. Eva Perla Camacho. Juliana Tsamai. Nathan Cameron. Shannon Elizabeth Carnell. Alexis Marie Cassidy. John William Cassidy III. Jonathan Charas.
Good job, John.
Colton Scott Chapman. Vito Giacomo Churko. Sydney Renee Clark. Jacob Adam Clifton. Valerie Lorena Clifton. Cameron Charles Cousins. Nicole Lynn Comps. Cameron Nicholas Compton. Logan Riley Kuhlman. Noah Pietro Costa. Jonathan Archer Cron. Gabrielle Christine Cross. Jack Taylor Cucchiata. Cole Jacob Culkin. Diamond Nicole Cushenberry. Ryan Richard Chapsky. Caleb Timothy Zarnick. Emma Doms. Dylan Dale. Ashlyn Dilieu. Eric Michael DeLee. Colin Patrick Dempsey. Evan Francis Dengate. Jacob Rankin DeReese. Alexandra De Stefanis. Isabella Dukai. Cole Jameson Durham. Anthony Michael Dushevic. Madison Lee Dustman. Ethan George Elliott. Emily Rose Ellis. Angel Michael Espinoza. Gavin Mateo Fabri. Jason Robert Fecto.
Over to Jason!
Jack Arthur Fays. Danilo Filipovic. Kaylee Lynn Filzek. Cooper Beck Finkbeiner. Ethan Alexander Finn. Anthony Elwin Finney.
Anthony!
Ada Maria Flores. Brandon Stephen Flowers. Reese James Ford. Jacob Kenneth Fowler. Joshua Robert Lamar Fowler. Kevin Allen Fowler. Ava Janesi Ganfield. Michael Joseph Kofke. Rachel Langley Flynn. Madison Marie Matai. Brett Robert Miller. Grace Elizabeth Moorbach. Dominic Joseph Ricobono. Andrew Jacob Saluski. Gavin Skinner. Drake Marie Zaloni. Gregory Scott Tarr, Jr. Claire Therese Termini. Ryan Lewis Thomas. Brianna Marie Zanke.
Okay, with a round of applause, please, for our graduates. So this next part, I kind of need everybody there, so I'll just have to do some filler information here. It's a nice day. Turned out good, right? I'm really not good at jokes either, so this is going to be awkward. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do the dismissal information now. That's what we're going to do. All right, let's get a little ahead of ourselves here. So after, our graduates have a seat, we'll turn our tassels and officially announce our graduate 2020. After that moment, our graduates will be getting up, lining up, and walking out to the field right through there. During that time, parents and guests, if I could ask, we'll stand up during that time. We'll cheer them out. When all of our graduates have left, at that point in time, we would ask that you exit the field, if you're able to, through the 2 staircases right here in the middle. Of course, if you need the ramp, please use that. And there's an exit out here by Powell that we'd ask you to use and meet your graduate in the parking lot. We do have to, clean and disinfect before the next comes in. So if you would please take all your pictures at home. Again, the pictures from today will be mailed home to you along with some information if you would like to order more or purchase the digital version or whatever. That will be there for you as well. All right, almost there. Usually that part, nobody's listening, so it was good we got that in this time, so that was great. It really is beautiful today. Man, we got lucky. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Hinkle. Graduates, if you could please stand. As the principal of Romeo High School, and by the authority of the Michigan Department of Education and the Romeo Community Schools Board of Education, I officially announce and proclaim that you, the class of 2020, are today and from this day forward official graduates of Romeo High School. You may now move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, graduates. Hey, 6 weeks, but it was worth it, right? That was great. All right, so graduates, at this point in time, if you could follow Mrs. Arntz, Mr. Ellis, and Mrs. Davis over there on out. Parents, we talked about that. Please wait till they're gone. And then if you could leave out through there, we would appreciate that. Thank you again for coming tonight. It was great seeing everybody. Have a great evening.